Over the past couple weeks, Onit's been releasing a ton of information, so in this video, I'm going to be explaining it all to you guys. Specifically, 5 big pieces of information that not only give us information about the Beesmas release date, but they also hint at the fact that it might be released very, very soon. Starting off with the biggest piece of evidence, Onits Return. Now, Onett went quiet for multiple weeks on the entire subject of Beesmas and the update, and then he finally came back about 2 weeks ago on January 28th and gave us this message. He basically states that he doesn't want to say too much about his personal life, but basically the reason Beesmas has been so delayed is because he had a trip that he had already booked way earlier that year, and he was currently on that trip, so therefore he couldn't actually work on the Beesmas update. Not to mention, he actually managed to get some sort of sickness while on this trip, and obviously when you're sick you don't want to work, so Onett had to take a break, not only for his mental health but just for his health in general, because when you feel like you're gonna vomit, the last thing you want to do is work on a Roblox game for a bunch of sweaty teenagers. So Onett said that he'd be taking a break for about 1 week. Well, that was about 2 weeks ago, like I said, on January 28th. As of today, it's currently February 15th, about 2 weeks later. So Onett's been able to get back from his trip. He's back at home. He's hopefully recovered, because he said he would hopefully be recovered in about a week. Of course, if Onett didn't heal in the span of a week, we can't exactly blame him for that, because at that point you're just blaming Onnett's immune system, which is uncool. But it does show that he has been back in the game, working on it, updating it for the past hopefully week. And considering the time in which Beesmas has been made in previous years, hopefully that means he's not too far from being done. Now, moving on to the next piece of evidence, the fact that it's past Valentine's Day. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but there's a lot of Beesmas themed quests in Beesmas, but the main one I want to focus on is Spirit Bear's quest, because Spirit Bear's quest unlocks the Valentines shrine, which is a Valentine's Day reference. Obviously, this is specifically Valentine's Day themed because sometime about 2 or 3 years ago, Beesmas Part 2 got released around Valentine's Day. So in order to celebrate it, Onett created the Valentine's Day shrine, you know, just for Valentine's Day. But now look at us, Beesmas Part 1 hasn't even come out, and Valentine's Day was yesterday. So it makes sense that Beesmas is coming out soon. That way the Valentine's shrine just further fits the theme of like the whole, you know, Valentine's Day situation here. Now currently all this information on the Beesmas update is based off of things that, you know, Onett has said or things that were inferring. But this next piece of evidence is actually something very important Onett did about 2 weeks ago, because Onett actually gave the YouTuber Thinksia special access to a new type of Beeswarm Simulator server, to a private Beeswarm Simulator server. This server is not like the test realm. It's not like the public game. It's still Beeswarm Simulator, but only Onett and Thinksia can actually join the game. Thinksia actually uploaded a video on this a couple days ago, but why is this so important? Because basically all that happened is while Onett did give him access to the game, he didn't actually put in any of the new Beesmas stuff. The only stuff that he changed about the private game was he added the snow around the map and all the stuff from Beesmas last. But the reason this is so important is because this hints at the fact that Onett is almost done creating the up. That's because of the past times that this has happened. The last time Onett gave Thinksia special access to a game, it was with the sticker update. Thinksia got special access to the trading hub and the stickers. He tested them out, made a couple videos on it, and then a little over a week later, Onett releases the sticker update. Well, here we are now. Onett gave Thinksia special access to the game once again. He released a little bit of some Beesmas stuff, and hopefully within the next week or so, that means that Onett's going to be releasing the Beeswarm Simulator Beesmas update. That is right after Thinksia finishes test. So while Thinksia having access to this game is big news, it won't become completely serious until Onett actually adds the new Beesmas stuff into that private game, because that means that it's very near completion and Onett is just looking for a few last people to test. Now next up is a message from Onett actually stating that he was going to be working on Beesmas. Onett released this message right after he released the sticker update. He basically said some stuff about how he's going to be reviewing the update, making sure there's no bugs over the next couple of days and fixing them. And then within the next upcoming days/weeks, he's going to be releasing the Beesmas up. Well, it has been about a month since he sent this message, which is definitely more than a couple days/weeks, which means that Onett has most definitely started on the Beesmas update. And you would think, well, oh yeah, he's only had like 1 or 2 weeks to work on Beesmas. It's probably not even close to done yet. Well, one thing to keep in mind is that usually the hard thing about Onett working on Beesmas isn't actually releasing the Beesmas quests. Those are easy. Well, they're not easy, but they're easier than the other stuff. Like when Onett released Puffshrooms and Planters and stuff for Beesmas, he had to spend so much time working out the Puffshrooms, how they're gonna look, the loot planners, how they were gonna look, how you'd get them, the brand new items, all of these crazy factors factors that took so long, and that's the reason Beesmas took long to make. After that, it was basically just a matter of trying to balance out the Beesmas quest to include the brand new stuff, and then adding some brand new gift/present rewards for the new year. And the same thing goes for last year. The hard thing about making the Beesmas update wasn't the Beesmas update itself, it was just the fact that Onett had to make the Robo Challenge and so many crazy factors like the mobs, the quests, the brand new Beesmas quest, everything. So since Onett has already released the entire sticker update, that means that this Beesmas update is only going to be the Beesmas update, meaning Onett doesn't have a crazy ton to work on, hopefully. He just has to make the Beesmas quests, give the rewards, and the presents and everything, and bada bing, bada boom, he can slap it in the game. So hopefully, given the couple weeks he's had to work on it, he's getting pretty close to done. But what if Beesmas actually came this weekend? Well, there's actually a possibility for that, because usually one thing developers will like to do with their games are release it on a weekend, because that's usually when people have school/work off. There's no point in releasing a game update on a Monday, because all that's going to happen is everyone's going to see the update and then everyone's heading off to work/school, and no one's going to be able to actually play the update until they get home from everything. So it's a much better idea to release updates on weekends, kind of like tomorrow being Friday, because everyone gets out of school and then boom, you have the entire weekend to play the brand new Bee Swarm Simulator update, which is usually why Onett releases Beesmas at around Christmas time, because that's when all the kids and teenagers are on winter break. So they have weeks and weeks to do the Beesmas quests and basically fill Onett's pockets with money. I'm kidding, but it really does give people a ton of time to actually play Onett's update and really enjoy it. So since no one's on winter break anymore, the next best thing Onett can do is either wait for spring break, which I really hope Onett doesn't wait that long to release Beesmas, or he can release it this weekend if he's almost done. If he's not done, then it will probably be on some other weekend. That way people got the rest of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to play the Beesmas update. Not to mention we also have Monday because President's Day, and hopefully you guys have that off, because the US didn't go through 46 presidents just to not have a day off from work. So it'd actually be a really good idea if Onett released it this weekend, because people have a 3-day weekend this week, because 3-day weekend equals more free time equals more time spent playing Bee game. Also, I'm trying to hit 75,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you'd like to help me out with my goal, it'd really mean a lot to me if we could just hit 53,000 subscribers just by the end of tomorrow. I put a lot of work into finding all this information for you guys, so I really hope you guys got everything you wanted out of this video. Onet's only going to keep leaking more things, so if you want to, honestly, just hit the bell instead of subscribing. That way you'll be automatically notified the next time Onett releases some brand new leaks, because of course I'll be posting a video on it and updating you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good 3-day weekend. Shout out to Obama for being president. I don't know. Bye.